welcome to day 6 of the 10-day adventure, June 3rd, 2009, and fun to be back where it all started, actually, on the highway at Nobby's Beach there, leaving Rudi's place, and that's Nobby's, just off the highway. The shop's there. I was meeting a friend there, Nikki Howard, who we filmed with on TheWebShow not too long ago. We're talking about some great plans working together with some online concepts. She's very cool, so I'm sure that'll come off. There's the front page of the paper. Origin and sold out, the Premier selling off some assets, and locals not happy about it with the fuel subsidies and stuff. Unfortunately, the plane crash news is huge still, but for every bad story there's good ones, like this young kid getting his pets back. And there's the Origin teams for the big game tonight. Cannot wait. Queensland versus New South Wales. And I saw this story in the paper too, 2 Gold Coast guys creating a business kind of like MySpace and Facebook put together. So I rang the paper to see if I can interview them, and hopefully that'll happen in the next couple of days. But I was in the flight centre in Broadbeach. I might be heading over to Manila, the Philippines, with boxer Michael Katsides, and there's the girls there who booked the tickets. But speaking of boxing, Brad Vocale, a bit of a local legend on the scene, a boxer himself and one of the great referees, doing some huge fights. There he is there in between John Hopewadi and Bob Mirovic for the Australian heavyweight title, and we thought we'd film a chat over a coffee for the web show. Three Beans Cafe on the Gold Coast. It's a random chat with Brad Vocale. How are you, buddy?
Very well, mate. Good to see you.
Now, I'm going to show you about stories.
Yeah.
How did you get involved? Because I've seen you on all over TV for years now, refereeing some of the biggest fights in Australia. How did you get involved in that?
What, in refereeing?
Yeah.
Well, after being a professional fighter myself, and an amateur and a professional fighter, I guess the next stage was to come along as a referee. So in 1992, I decided to become a referee, and some 18 or 19 years here I am.
What was like it for the first fight? First fight you refereeing, were you panicking?
Yeah,
geez.
absolutely. Yeah, nervous. Well, I've been looking at it, and now after sort of a long time, and now I also do a lot of ring officials workshops and stuff like that for our referees, not only here in Australia but worldwide, and it gives me the opportunity to understand the importance about where our referees and judges, and we've got the welfare and safety of every fighter that we ever work on fair smack in the palm of our hands. So we really need to take it seriously, and you really have to be on your game.
What's been the best moment of your career then, like as far as a referee? Has there been a top magic moment where you thought, how good's this?
Look,
you
the travel. Yeah, you do. You look, as a judge, you sit at ringside and you get to judge some of the best fighters in the world, which I've done. I love travelling. The travel is a very good thing. You get to travel and fly all around the world, stay in great hotels, meet some beautiful people, fabulous people, and then you get paid to do what I'd love to do. So if they said to me, hey, would you referee this fight for nothing, I'd do it for nothing, but to get paid for it and get paid very well is also very satisfying.
So you're living the dream, mate.
I am, absolutely. I just hope someone doesn't tap me on the shoulder and say it's all a dream, you've got to wake up.
Well, what advice do you have out there for someone, even though, because you've been in the boxing game for a long time, what advice do you have for someone out there about who's thinking, I wouldn't mind putting the gloves on and giving it a go?
Hey, have a go. Listen, the sport of professional boxing is really an art. We see a lot of this, I hate you and I'm going to give it to you. Mate, there's none of that. Realistically, it's a sport, and we need to put it in this context that it is a sport. And of course, they're opponents. They're not enemies, they're opponents. And of course, they like to have that hype, the Mike Tyson thing, I'm going to knock you out, I'm going to break your bones and do all of that. So it's not really all that way. And of course, it's very satisfying too. If you've ever gone and done boxercise, you've gone and punched a boxing bag, I defy you if you can do it for 10 minutes non-stop. But it certainly gives great fitness, great confidence, great regimentation, and it's something that I think is really good for everyone. I did it from age 8 right through to when I retired at age 17 and a half. So it is very, very good if you want to do it.
Well, mate, good to see you for a random chat and all the rest of it.
Tonksy, it's always good to catch up with you, man.
Yeah, so fun catching up with Brad. He's always wearing a smile on his face. He's a very cool guy. But it all came down to the night time, June 3rd, 2009, and that's when Queensland and New South Wales do battle, not only on the football field but in bragging rights for the rest of the year. And the Wiz, Warwick Capel, was coming around to enjoy the game. I've known Warwick for a long time, used to work with him in radio, and made a funny film clip for him not too long ago. Here's a small sample of that.
Every AFL fullback had a few of Warwick's crack over hysteria of his posterior. The Swannets were made to feel their bums inferior at the Kappa Cabana. Red shorts wrapped round a banana at the Kappa Cabana. An IQ of 3, but he could leap like a flea. Warwick Kappa, he loved himself.
Yes, there's definitely only one Warwick Kappa, which is probably a good thing on society. He's a great bloke. But here we are at Rudi's before the game was about to begin.
Where's the Kappa, the lean man with the start machine, blonde hair, blue eye, ready to take off. Love sucks, but true love swallows. And mine do, believe me.
Yeah, you just never know what's going to come out of his mouth, and it's always good fun. But the game was on, Queensland versus New South Wales. We were on the edge of our seats. These games are just absolutely awesome. Of course, I'm doing this after the fact. Queensland had won, so I'm a pretty happy camper, scoring the tries. There was a lot of luck involved. New South Wales getting quite lucky in the second half of their tries, but as usual, a tough Origin encounter, and some absolutely great moments, including the legendary Greg Inglis in full flight. Check this out, it's amazing. Yeah, he's definitely one of the most naturally talented footballers you'll ever see. So graceful and strong with his running. He could probably win the 400 metres in an Olympics. He's that talented. Freak. Lucky he's a Queenslander, that's for sure, wearing the maroon. But that was pretty much it for the night. And just to wrap it up, the last word goes to the Wiz.
So, mate, we've just had the game and we win to Queensland.
Yeah, just having a bit of chocolate and a couple of cold ones and a cup of tea and a few Coronas and Queensland.
What do you think of the game?
Yeah, it was very close, wasn't it? I thought New South Wales were stiff in a honeymoon dick. They were very unlucky on a few of those close line calls, but we got the night and it was quite a close game. I was quite excited. I actually pole vaulted the toilet first 25 minutes. Andrew, what do you think of the game?
It was a good
Thanks
one.
for asking.
Yeah, well, you're welcome. The big fella Rudi, how was it, mate? Enjoyed it?
Good mate, Queensland won.
Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah, so this is Warwick Kappa for Zoom Magazine and Ed Hardy coming to you live on the web show. Let us stick it up with you. Better us than some other prick. That's like my girls. Love sucks, but true love swallows. Just remember that.